As an only child, there's a very, very, very big misconception about this point. Everybody thinks that an only child is super pampered, gets whatever they want, whenever they want.
Is that not true?
It's not true. It is not true.
Okay.
Okay. So I got everything I wanted. I'm not going to lie. But I did not get it in the time I wanted to get it. So, for
Fair.
example, I wanted a new shoe,
Right.
but I've always had this get us good marks, you'll get a new shoe.
Which is fair.
But for me, I wanted the shoe now.
Welcome to the Reza Naqvi Podcast. Welcome back to the Reza Naqvi Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Some careers are chosen, others are inherited through passion, blood, and destiny. Today's guest has the latter. From terminals of Abu Dhabi to briefing captains twice her age to going on and earning a PhD in aviation safety, Yasmin's journey is anything but ordinary. She has faced doubt and turned it into strength, transformed pressure into resilience, and carved a place as a woman of influence in one of the toughest industries in the world. Welcome, Yasmin.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
Thank you so much. A pleasure. So go on. I would love to understand how did aviation happen? We'll come to that. But let's go down to the childhood and journey in UAE. And you mentioned Abu Dhabi,
Yes.
correct? You've lived there. You've been there since forever.
Yes.
Right. So go on, tell us what was it like?
Well, for me, Abu Dhabi was a very, very calm city.
Right.
I
Is it not
loved-
calm now?
Not like before. We're talking like 30 years ago. So, well, yeah. So,
Careful, we don't want people to know your age.
no, it's well, having a PhD already, they can calculate. So,
Fair.
for me, Abu Dhabi was very calm. It was a very nice place to be. I loved my school. I still visit my school from time to time.
Wow.
Some teachers are still there, and they always feel happy when they see their students successful. So they always make us talk to, like grade 12 and 11 to give them some passion to choose what they want to be.
This is something so interesting you said that. I still go back to my school.
Yeah.
And we're one of the very few students who still does that. So
Me too.
that's very interesting.
Yeah.
When I was initially asking you, you very proudly you spoke about your mom and dad.
Yes.
So how those values, as I like to say, when we're kids, right? So there's a download period,
Of course.
right? So we pick up a lot of things subconsciously,
Yeah.
from 0 to 7 to 10, So during that download period, a lot of the stuff stays with us. And so, would you like to tell us about strengths, weaknesses, or something, some peculiar sayings or something which your parents used to say, which have actually stuck with you till date? Those have become part of your morals, maybe values, or just part of discipline.
Okay. As an only child, there's a very, very, very big misconception about this point. Everybody thinks that an only child is super pampered, gets whatever they want, whenever they want.
Is that not true?
It's not true. It is not true.
Okay.
Okay. So I got everything I wanted. I'm not going to lie. But I did not get it in the time I wanted to get it. So, for
Fair.
example, I wanted a new shoe.
Right.
But I've always had this get us good marks, you'll get a new shoe.
Which is fair.
But for me, I wanted the shoe now. So everybody thinks because I'm an only child, if I walk around the mall, I can
Right.
pick the whole mall and go out. It
So you,
was
so
not
you
like
weren't you weren't spoiled.
No.
You had to earn. So
Yes.
you were given targets. You reach those targets, and then you get rewarded.
Yes,
Okay,
because
that's
I remember my
positive
mom saying one
reinforcement.
thing. You're an only child,
Right.
so your only strength in life is your study.
Very nice.
So your study is like your shield. If you're not successful in studies, you have nothing to support you when la qadar Allah later in life we are not here anymore. So that's stuck in my head because I don't have any brothers or sisters. So my shield is my studies.
Very nice.
That was the thing that grew up with me and it's always been in the back of my head.
So that's so nice. That as a Muslim girl, studying, working, woman empowerment, all of this sort of comes together,
Yeah.
that you were encouraged to, go out, conquer the world,
Yes.
study, don't be dependent. This is so nice. So you said, what do you call? There's a lot of things that you admire about your mother's strength,
Yes.
and how does that experience? How does her experience leak into your life today
Okay.
and whilst growing up?
So I've always seen my mom working.
Right.
Always. Like she has this character that she cannot sit at home.
You mentioned she's a bit of a legend herself.
Yes.
Yeah.
She taught me that you need to be independent. You need to think of your future. Even if you're tired now, because when you're young, you have to be tired so you can have a good future. So I've always seen my mom working since I was, I don't know, 2 or 3.
Wow, you still remember that, band?
Yes. Because we went through a very kind of hard period.
Mhm.
And I've always seen my mom working. Like she had 2 jobs. She worked morning and in the evening for me to have everything, but not in the time I choose, as I told you before.
Right.
She taught me that being a woman does not stop you from going out in a field that's filled with men. Being a woman does not need you're not allowed to have a job that you're coming back late at night. Because my first job, I used to finish at 4 o'clock in the morning. So she's always been pushing me to do what I want.
Fair.
And that's my mom. And my dad was always there for me. Always, always,
nice.
always. Like, and he's the one who pushed me to aviation, by the way.
Yes, you mentioned.
Yeah.
You
it was
mentioned. I
by
think you
pure
said that
coincidence.
about what dispatch.
Yes.
He pushed you towards dispatch.
Yes.
And so, what were you planning? Well, he was like, because you mentioned dad was a pilot,
Yes.
right? So of course he couldn't see that. Oh yeah, somebody's going away, so they have to be in aviation. So what were you doing that triggered his thought that no, she has to go towards something aviation related?
So I have done my studies in business aviation.
Right.
Business administration.
Right.
I have a double major in marketing and management. Because
Smart.
yeah, thank you. So I graduated when I was 23 from double majors.
Wow.
And then I was sitting home and I'm like, I don't want to do this. Like
Mm,
I just wasted 4 years of my life studying something that's not interesting.
fair.
And for me, it's never too late,
Mm.
Like you can study something now when you're 50 because you felt like it's a passion for you.
Would be a slightly slow journey, but yeah,
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It's never too late,
I agree.
So I was sitting and my dad was like, you don't want to work? I'm like, I do, but not here. And he's like, you chose this major.
Mm.
I'm like, I chose it because I didn't know what I wanted, but I
Right.
didn't want to fail it. And then that's how I got my first job in the airport.
Right.
And then dad was like, have you heard about dispatchers?
All right. So first, it wasn't directly into dispatch. Right. Okay. So you went through the phases.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Go on.
So I'm like, what is a dispatcher?
Mm.
And he's like, it's a ground pilot. And then I'm like,
Wow.
a ground pilot? What is a ground pilot? Doesn't the pilot fly? Then that felt there was a hinge that I have no idea what's going on.
Right.
And then the subject was closed. So I'm like, what was he talking about? Suddenly he comes up and he's like, Yasmin, pick your bag. You're going to Dubai. Then I'm like, I don't want to go to Dubai.
Hey,
It's
Dubai's
like,
not that bad.
yeah, but for me, I told you I'm an only child. So
Fair.
I've always been surrounded by my parents. I don't want to live alone. I had that thing, like I don't want to. Then I'm like, who told you I want to go to Dubai?
Hmm.
He's like, yeah, I registered you in a course. I'm like, excuse me?
Nice.
Course? I just finished. I don't want to have a course. And then I went, I was so, sad and pissed off. And why are you moving me? This is my life. I know what I want to do. I went to class. I was super upset.
But see, I'm going to stop you there.
Yeah.
So when you said you think when we're young, we think that we know exactly what to.
We don't.
There's no offense to those people who. No, I'm sure there's many people who
Yeah,
they start
of us.
young and they know,
Yeah.
and they're still doing what
I
they
respect them. But
Yeah, but not everybody is like that. So we think at that moment that what we're doing is
at that moment, you're just done with university and you think that, like, I'm a grown up now. I
Right.
can do my own life decisions.
Yeah,
It's my life.
wait till life hits you like a truck, right?
Well, I don't know. If you're lucky enough, you'll just survive.
Fair.
But for me, in that stage of life, I'm like, why should you decide what I should do?
Mhm.
Like, why? Like, we talked about it and then the
Right.
subject was closed.
Mhm.
So there was no negotiation that I'm going to go through something else.
Right.
So I went to class. I feel so bad saying this. He spent the whole night with me in Dubai,
Right.
and he woke up really early in the morning to prepare me breakfast.
Was it what CAE or aviation? Where'd you go?
I
Aviation
went to
college?
EAU,
EAU.
Emirates Aviation University.
Right. Very nice.
So I felt bad. Like, my
Mm.
dad woke up before me, breakfast was ready, coffee was ready, and I wake up super grumpy. So I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. So I went to class, and the moment you sit
Mm.
and the instructor started talking, you felt something was tricky. Like, I am supposed to be here. This is my place.
Just so everybody knows, I never felt like that in class. Otherwise, I would have done a PhD as well. Unfortunately, yeah,
I
that
swear.
this feeling that she talks about has never come across me.
No, mine, it just kicked in. I'm like, why did I spend 4 years in a completely different field?
Wow.
And I'm like, this is my place, and I was the only girl in that batch.
Mhm.
So I'm looking around me, they're all guys,
Right.
and they're all way older than me because they came from other airlines.
Fair.
So my batch had guys that are like 45, 48, 40, and they were already ground dispatchers.
Wow.
They had to take the course to become flight dispatchers. So they already have
Of
all the
course.
basics. I have nothing. So sitting there, it was a challenge because I was the youngest. I was the only girl, and everybody knew what they were talking about. I had no idea.
I would like to, highlight. So when you said you knew nothing and they were ground dispatchers, would you agree that it's easier to mold something when it's a new piece of clay? You can mold it into anything, but rather
Totally.
somebody who's actually studied something, they have to do a lot of relearning, which
Yes.
they're very sort of stubborn, or there are mental barriers that they feel that, yes, I know this, it should be like this. However, when they're exposed to something new, they don't want to learn. Do you think it's easier
I
for
agree.
somebody new to learn, pick up these things, or somebody who comes from
100%.
experience? Or is it a bit of
100%.
50-50?
No. I'll tell you what. For me, from my experience, when you don't know anything,
Right,
you're starting to get the information,
right.
right? But if you're somebody who's been working in a different department of aviation,
Right.
and then you come to another department, but you're hearing information
Mm.
you don't want to give it time because things are evolving, right?
Right.
So like this year's
Mm.
planning system is not like 10 years ago. There's always something new, something new, something new. So when dad was helping me study, dad is talking about 45 years of experience with somebody with zero experience. So what I was telling him, dad, please let's stay per the book because I have an exam in the end of the week. Dad is teaching me from his experience. He's not teaching me what's in the book. So for me, somebody who's purely new, that's when he starts listening to you. They don't judge what you're saying from their experience. This is how I get it.
Do you agree that a lot of the theory goes out the window when it comes to operations?
A lot,
Yeah.
all of it.
Well, I wouldn't say all of it. I think not.
98%
Yeah,
goes
but
out of the window.
yeah, there you go. But most of it does because unfortunately, theory is only good
For an exam.
for an exam and for the technical aspect. But once it comes to hands-on experience, there's a lot of things that can be moved around and done differently. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Right. And then you went on, so uh, learned, you went through your, what do you call, training of dispatch, everything. It took you, I don't know, for 100 years to
No,
finish that. What?
no, no. The course in 2014 was 7 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So,
Can you trust
it was,
somebody?
oh, come on. Wait, let me
7
finish.
weeks. 7 weeks. All right.
So, 7 weeks
Was
was
the
the
crash
course.
course?
No. So 7 weeks was a very intensive course.
Information overload.
The challenge was that
Yeah.
we had two exams in the end of the week: the university's exam and the GCAE's exam.
Right.
And the hardest part is the first exam is the university's exam.
Mhm.
And you need to get 75% plus to move to the next one. Although the next one for you to move is 70%.
Right.
So for me, that was really hard,
Mhm.
because in the whole week, we're just getting information. It's so intense. Imagine a class from 8 to 4:30 every day.
Wow.
And then end of the week, you have 2 exams. So that was a very big challenge. But after that, you need 90 days for on-job training to get your license.
Wow.
And they don't just give you the system and go ahead. You need
So
another 4 months to get released as a new dispatcher because you were never on the chair.
fair.
That's when the career starts.
Fair enough. So then once you were done with all of this, alhamdulillah, all done and dusted, 90 days on job training. Where were you doing that training? Were you
My
at the
OJT,
airports? Yeah.
I
Was it
was
at the
with Al
airport?
Jaber
Was it
Aviation in
Al
Abu Dhabi.
Jaber? Oh, yes. Heard of them.
Yeah.
I think they closed.
Yeah, they closed
Yeah.
down in 2019, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I heard of them long ago.
Yeah.
Right. And then how was your journey that you worked with one of the bigger operators in Abu Dhabi? I think one of the private operators in Abu Dhabi.
It's the biggest operator in the Middle East, actually.
Wow.
My journey was with Royal Jet.
Nice.
It's something I'm super proud of. It's a company that taught me, look, 3.5 years with Royal Jet is equivalent to 15 years in commercial. This is something I would say very loud. You had to use your brains.
High pressure?
Very, very,
High
because
pressure in what sense? Let's talk about, is it high pressure of performing? Okay, but you don't come from a sales background because I obviously,
yeah,
I was talking from my perspective. So from your perspective, high pressure in the sense because you're dealing with the level of clientele which you're dealing with, that all operations have to go so smoothly, there's no margin of error. Of course, in aviation, there is no margin of error, God forbid. But it comes down to the smooth communications between ops to ops, smooth communications across teams to teams. I'm sure not everybody is on the same page all the time,
yes.
right? Go and tell us more about
Look,
that.
for me, with all the respect to, of course, the VIPs and all the important clienteles,
Right.
but for me as a dispatcher,
Yeah.
it's a soul on an aircraft.
Okay.
It's a human soul.
Mhm.
So for me, I need to do everything to be 100% on time.
Mhm.
I need to have 1000% safety. I
Mhm.
need to have 1,000,000% security. So all I think about is not who's on board. All I think about that I have souls on board. So this is number one. Number two, maybe Royal Jet, because of the name of Royal Jet and the clientels of Royal Jet, we don't have that much difficulties to get permits and overflight things as working in another private sector that
Fair.
you know what I
Fair
mean.
enough. Yeah.
But Royal Jet makes you, me as coming from my side, Royal Jet made me use my brain. You use your brain because there are some flights that are very challenging, not as per client wise, as per weather wise, as per fuel wise.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you really have to challenge that big bird to go where you want it to reach, although everything is against you.
Mm.
Having strong headwinds is not gonna, I'm not gonna be able to do a flight of 8 hours when you have a strong wind pushing you back. So those are the challenges that I saw in Royal Jet. I had a lot of people that were very supportive. I would never forget that they trained me with all love and support. One of them is Kashif Habib. He is a Pakistani colleague. He was also ex Fly Dubai. He trained me with all the love in the world. Uh,
So you had supportive, you had a good
yes,
team around you,
yes,
supportive team,
yes,
sort of, guiding or nudging you in the right direction.
yeah.
So let's say if, I don't know, if ever you had a meltdown where you feel that, no, it's getting a bit too much, there's either mental pressure too much or there's some pressure. How do you sort of cope with it? What could be that potential situation which puts you through that? And then how do you sort of handle it?
Do I have to? I have to be honest, yeah.
Oh, it's up to you.
Okay.
Right.
So, yeah, I got a lot of meltdown moments
Right.
because look, when you have a pressure of 7 flights per shift and logically you can only do four
Mm.
because each flight takes 3 to 4 hours to prepare. So,
So you do all the flight planning and
everything,
wow.
flight
Wow.
planning, fueling, weather reading, no time
No
reading,
terms of wow.
calculation of weight and balance. So you do everything. So it takes time. Sometimes when you're the only dispatcher on duty and you have 7 flights and you have to focus on them. And
It
I
gets,
just, I
gets a
broke
bit
down.
difficult.
I broke down. So the first thing I did was I called my dad.
Mm.
Because for me, my dad is my safe net. I cry there. I'm happy there. I'm angry there. So, he's like my sponge.
Mhm.
I called dad. I'm like, Dad, I don't think I can do this. I want to quit. So dad
Oh,
was
it
like,
came to
quit.
that point.
Yeah, dad was like, quit. I'm like, but I love my job. He's like, then listen, stop being a baby. Okay. This is a challenge. If you are my daughter and I know who you are, call me when this shift is done and tell me you are done with 7 briefings. You have 12 hours. If this is done in 12 hours, you did it. If you don't call me and tell me you briefed 7 captains, please resign and come back home.
Coming to the briefing, I remember when I was initially asking you, I think some tiny incident happened where you were questioned because you were young. I think that happens to all new entrants,
Yeah, they don't
all
trust you easily.
all young people who sort of have a certain authoritative position,
Yeah.
or they're in the position of authority rather, and they're giving out an instruction to somebody who's elder. I think they just is it an ego issue, or is it trust, or what, is it a bit of both? What is it? What do you feel it
Look,
is?
for me, my first incident, it was pure ego.
Ah,
I was young. I was really young. I was like 23, 24,
mhm,
and I'm briefing somebody who's 62. And I was shaking because it was my first briefing.
right.
So for me, I had to check, all the papers and, dispatch. So there are a lot of numbers. And it's not what we took in the course. Like in the
I
course.
don't know dispatch. I have brief idea of what dispatch looks like because I've worked with dispatchers. But yeah,
So there are a lot of numbers. And I haven't seen this much numbers in the
mm,
course.
right,
Let's be honest. Like course was all questions. You memorize them. You put them in the next exam and خلاص.
fair enough.
So I printed the flight plan and I'm like, what is all this? I'm
Mm,
going to tell him all this. And then I sat down and then I realized what the numbers were.
right.
So when I came to the briefing and I walked, I was shaking, but I had to show up, the courage that I'm walking in. So the captain was like, who are you? And then I'm like, I'm your dispatcher.
Mm,
He's like, you're my what? I'm like, you're a dispatcher? He's like, no, 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 no. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, I'm not taking a brief from somebody this age. He's like, I was flying before you were born.
mm,
So I'm like, yeah, but sorry to tell you, I'm not releasing you before you listen to me
mm,
because I think you were at home, you just came. I was up all night reading weather charts to
right.
tell you if there's something bad, if there's, a jet stream, a turbulence, a volcano that erupted. So you need to listen to me. If I didn't have that, courage to speak up, they would know I have no personality. خلاص. You don't have a future in this field if you don't implement your personality. That was a very, very big challenge for me as a start because it was my first brief. And after that, خلاص.
And then after that, how many briefings have you done?
Oh, I can't even tell you. I don't even remember.
That's nice. So,
Royal Jet, the nice thing about Royal Jet is you sit with the captain. He listens to you carefully.
right.
I had some tough ones as well. I would never forget Captain Ahmed Sahul.
Hmm.
Oh my God, that man is, for me, he's a teacher. He's an amazing teacher. He saw me.
Hmm.
It was my first briefing with him. And Royal Jet's system is completely manual.
Okay.
So there are some things that the computer puts in the flight plan, and I don't know what it is.
Hmm.
It's not me who put it. And then Captain Ahmed sits and he goes like, what is this? And then I'm like, what? He's like, what is this? Then I'm like, I don't know what that is. Then he's like, I respect you. So I looked at him, I'm like, excuse me? He's like, I respect you because you said I don't know. Somebody else would have tried to
They
go
would
in
have bluffed it.
circles.
Right.
So I was like, please learn your papers. Next time I come, I want you to tell me what that is.
Right. Fair enough. It's all right.
And then he
Supportive.
told me, I studied, I
Yeah.
did my research.
Hmm.
Of course, I went to my dictionary, who's that? I went to that, straight ahead to
Right.
that. So the next time he came, he's like, are you ready? I'm like, yes, I'm ready. And we sat. And he started asking me questions and I'm
Right.
answering, asking me questions and I'm answering. He's like, you know what? You're my favorite dispatcher. Every time I had a question, I used to ask that captain. And we became really, really good friends. We're still in touch until now.
Amazing. There's this one philosophy you said that you live by. Go on, tell us more about that. What is it? Like, if you were something that doesn't,
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
isn't that like a meme?
To you, maybe. Not to me, but yeah.
But go on, tell. So
Look, every person
you've come
goes.
across those situations as, how would you say that? You've come across those situations because of being a woman in aviation, because of being young, or like, how would you sort of identify that issue by women not being heard or not being wanting to be recognized or being understood?
Look, I think now in 2025,
Right.
we don't really have that problem as we had it like when I first started working
Fair
like
enough. So
10,
things have
12,
changed
15
around.
years ago. Of course, things has changed a lot.
Hmm.
Now, if you go to any aviation company,
Right.
you will find strong women with really big positions in the company.
Yeah.
And it's not like shocking. Before, you would find it shocking if she's, head of operations, head of maintenance.
Where is it still a men dominated industry? I'm still trying to find, like, I understand, yes, maybe because the population of men is more than women.
Exactly.
That's what, so,
So
but
why
that,
are you blaming us?
but
We
that,
need to work as well.
but then women shouldn't say that it's a men dominated
I've
industry.
never said that.
Okay.
I've never said that.
All right.
I don't believe something is men domination or look, I don't believe in men domination and I don't believe in equality between a man and a woman. As a woman, I don't believe in that.
Equality should be there, but
Yeah, but
there's a
you don't
difference
say, yeah,
translation of an
exactly.
understanding of that equality.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So for me, I think a man is a man. A man is able to do things that we are not able to do.
We're having a hard time finding those men nowadays.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
I agree.
dynamics are changing.
Yeah,
But I think they're changing back to normal again.
hopefully by the end of this year, let's
Hopefully.
hope.
You said something about the rise of women in aviation.
Yes.
Yeah. So for example, like you said, initially when you were just new, you didn't see as many women in aviation, but now of course there's, mashallah, you get to see women in aviation across the board. So you're
Yes.
seeing women as operators, working on the operator
Captains.
side, captains, first officers.
Good. She's Bahraini. She's a captain of an A380
Wow,
on
mashallah.
Qatar Airways. We have
Women.
also a lot. We have Fatma Mansouri. She's a captain of an F-16, which is something very impressive. We have also another captain. I forgot her name. She's an Etihad. She's a captain of an A350. So women are just giving a very nice picture nowadays in aviation.
I would love to highlight my uh, CEO, well, my former CEO, Lily.
Oh, she's
Boy,
an amazing person. Yes.
like, if see
Strong
her journey,
personality, very sweet.
very strong, very humble, very grounded, and very driven.
Yes.
You know,
She
like
has the
very
passion for
driven.
it.
Yeah, absolutely. What? So there's so many misunderstandings about aviation, right?
Yeah.
So tell us a few. Tell me the top 3 misunderstandings when somebody says that, yeah, you work in aviation.
Okay, there's
Go
this
on.
thing. They don't know what a dispatcher is. They don't.
To be honest, I didn't know what a dispatcher is.
I'll
We
introduce
learn.
Yeah.
All right, we grow.
But the first thing, anybody, what do you do? I work in aviation. Oh man, you get free first class tickets.
Hey, is that not true?
We don't.
They do. They're
We
lying.
don't.
I'm sure you do.
You do when you work in commercial and you get business if you have a high level in the.
You don't get anything. You have to be on standby. It's like packing your bags, standing at the door.
Come on, no, we
Yes.
have ID50 and ID90.
See?
90 is the bags and 50 is
Technicalities.
see? But when you work in a private sector,
Right.
we don't get tickets. We don't. We do not get tickets. We do not.
Oh, yeah, but not in the private. Yeah, of course.
Like
Somebody has to pay for the
that's
flight.
because you work there. So you're a part of that team that's making the whole operation go. But in private, you're like the soldier that is in the backyard. Nobody knows who you are.
Right.
But the operation is smooth going.
Fair enough.
So please, we do not get tickets. Yeah.
How do you see, like, obviously now aviation is changing. There's this lovely group, I think, Women in Aviation in the UAE. And I think it's, I don't know how global it is, but I think there's a lot of people part of that group. naturally there's a lot of women coming into aviation. Do you see yourself eventually, because you're teaching, you're already doing learning and
Yeah.
development, right? You have a PhD in
Yeah.
safety and
Security.
safety and
Airport.
security, right? So you're already in a educator's role.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself sort of growing more into it?
In the educational role?
Yeah.
No, because the past year I've been teaching students, our juniors, metrology. It's one of the subjects that I love, but others hate.
Mhm.
But no, I didn't find myself in that place where I have to teach, and I don't have that patience to do that.
So, okay, fine, but not, you don't have patience to teach. That's fair. I think that's why I never became a teacher
Yeah,
myself. I don't have that sort of patience.
but
But
I like
hats
training.
off to yeah. See, that's the difference.
Yeah,
There's this
I
big
like
difference.
training.
I used to be a personal trainer, so you're still educating people and you're training people. It's slightly different than being in a classroom with 20 different personalities and you have to sort of manage them. It gets difficult.
Yeah,
However, having said that, it's a lot of respect to all the teachers out there.
yes,
You
of
know,
course.
but you said you still have a drive of learning. Like a PhD
Yeah,
doesn't come out of the blue.
no,
What made you pursue a PhD? And you mentioned that you want to further
yeah,
study,
yes.
exploring
Look,
just
I told you.
aviation or something else as
No,
well.
I'm just aviation.
Right.
I'm
Fair.
just in love with this
You
field.
said it's in your blood.
Yeah.
How?
Apparently, I didn't know that before. I told you, it just kicked in the first time I walked into the class. So
Still
since
trying to
then,
get my head around that
yeah,
feeling.
I swear, it's like you felt this is my place. This is the right thing I'm doing. Whatever I did before, let's just put in the closet and close. But from not knowing that I wanted to be there to actually continuing in a PhD in aviation,
Right.
my dad was like, I'm so proud of you. Like, wow, like PhD and aviation? Like, how? I'm like, I don't know. It just feels right. It's, like I don't study for the exams. Uh, I don't prepare before anything because it's something that I'm doing daily.
Mhm.
When I have the free time, I'm looking at the videos about the crashes, the investigation. Why did this crash happen? What happened with the flaps? What happened with the radar?
Right.
So everything just comes that makes sense.
Very technical. We're going to cover a lot of that. It's already in my mind. We're going to cover a lot of the technical side of things in the coming episodes, definitely. But you said that, you're very, very proud of the PhD and everything. So where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years, as in just working, or you will move into, you'd still be working, but
For sure.
not necessarily as a dispatcher,
No,
most probably
I'm not a
going to,
dispatcher now, but I
yeah.
still do dispatch for me not to forget. Like I do it for fun.
You've still been doing flight plans and you've been helping
Yes.
people around.
Yeah.
You've told me about that.
Yeah.
What kind of, let's say, when everybody has those lovely 7 stages of life, we start as kids and we end as kids. So when we're towards the later half of life, how do you want people to sort of go back and be like, you know what, there was this one legend? Yeah.
Look, for me, my biggest role model in life is dad.
Right.
So dad, after 45 years of aviation, you just say the name and they go like, oh, that man, I love that. What a smart man. That man, خلاص, we just want to do business because the name of that man.
Mm.
I want to reach that. I want you to come to me and tell me, Yasmin, since it's you, I blindly trust you. Take it and just give me the result. This is what I want to reach.
I think dad's worked really, really hard to get there.
Very, very. I'm very proud of him. Very. That started as a load master.
Wow.
Yeah.
Went on to be a pilot.
Yes.
Mashallah. Outside of work, like all keeping all the corporate hustle and bustle aside, at the end of the day, we are all humans. Everybody
Of
has
course.
their own outlet
Yeah.
of things we like to do. For example, I like to do nothing. You like to do a lot of things. Yeah, see, everybody has their own. Yeah, but that's not true though.
Okay.
Yeah, but I like to do. I like to read. Other people might find it boring. What do you like to do? As a human, you have your passions, you have your outlet.
Mm.
What is that? How would you sort of tell somebody who is a new girl or a new guy working in aviation, which requires you to be switched on the
Yes.
whole time, And there is, as much as I can debate the fact about being burnt out, I do agree that it is there. I
Yeah.
do agree that yes, some people can burn out, absolutely. Especially because we're always so mentally stimulated, unfortunately. It's not as it used to be back in the day. But how would you sort of give some advice to somebody? How do you balance it out?
Oh,
What
I'm
is
the
that
worst
balance?
person to give an advice about balance. I
How can you
just
how can
started my balance, honestly,
how
after
can
like
you say that
13
you're
years.
educating people, you're training people? So
No, I'm sure.
there
Look,
is a balance.
you should have a balance, but in the beginning of your journey in this field, there is no balance. I'm
So
talking 12, 13 years ago.
is it fair to say that the balance is what you want it to be the balance?
Yes.
Right.
Because when I first started, I've never done shifts in my life.
Mhm.
So this swap from morning shift to night shift, and then I'm up all night when I'm used to be sleeping all night,
Mhm.
was, a shock. A shock to me, a shock to my body, a shock to my nerves, a shock to everything. So later, when you start getting used to the idea of you doing a night shift, that's when you start thinking how to balance things. I was never able to balance.
All
To
right.
be super honest, I was never able to balance.
I think that's something that we can always work on self-development.
Yeah, but
Balance
the thing
comes
is, I was
over time.
studying and working in the same time.
That was the balance.
That was not a balance
If
because I had bad sleep.
well,
I couldn't maintain my health.
I agree to that. However, would you agree, or we can choose to agree to disagree, that everything comes at a cost,
Of course,
right?
of course.
And
But if you don't take care of your health,
right.
you're not doing something good. Even if you're becoming super successful in your work, but you're losing your health.
But what is success? It's again debatable, right?
Of course it is.
Yeah.
But what I mean is, if like you reach to a good level in your job and you're
Mhm.
happy,
Fair.
okay, but you have blood pressure, you have diabetes, you are overweight, you cannot breathe, you cannot go up the stairs. So you failed in the most important part because you need to take care of your health and then balance your job. That's the mistake I did.
Mm.
Like I slept very, very, very bad. My
Mm.
sleep was very poor because my 3 days off, I used to leave my job, come to Dubai to do my university,
Mhm.
leave the. So
Right.
I didn't have that balance. You don't have the time to go to the gym, you don't have time to eat right. So you're sitting on a chair 12 hours and you eat whenever you get the chance to eat. So
Mm.
you're having your meal at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Fair.
So you're just gaining weight,
Mhm.
which was not healthy. So then when, you had a wake up call, I'm like, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing? Like, my health is gone. Like, bad sleep, bad health. I'm overweight. I'm not happy. I'm not happy in my own body. And the thing is, it's not like somebody has to tell you, you gained weight. You already know that.
Like I can
So
see it.
pointing it is not a point.
Fair.
Like, I know that, but like, you don't know what I'm going through for me to have put on weight. So when you reach the point that you want to change,
Mm.
that's when you will change, and that's when you start putting options that I'm going to do this, tomorrow I'm going to do that.
And
But
then
it
you
has to come
decided
from
to
you.
bring that balance
Yes.
into life. Fair
No,
enough.
because
Yeah.
I don't have shifts anymore.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So I think it's phases of life we go
Yes.
through, and then we eventually create that balance. I
Yes.
understand. I agree. It's not that easy. It's not one of the easiest things. You mentioned one of these places. I keep forgetting. It has a very tricky name in Thailand. So
Oh, Phuket.
yes, I
Oh,
still can't pronounce it properly. It's like a
Phuket.
disaster
I
for me.
love that island. Please don't pronounce it. I'll do the
Thank
pronunciation.
you. I appreciate that. You said so you like going to the beach and
I
stuff.
love Phuket.
Amazing.
I love it. It's like my mini heaven.
Amazing.
It's when I reach to a point that, okay, I've done a lot this year.
Right.
I just need to relax. I don't want to see the phone. I don't want to
Right.
get calls. I don't want to get emails. I just want to sit by the ocean. And that's it.
I think we have great oceans in
Not here.
Ras Al Khaimah.
No, thanks.
No, we're right on the.
I want
Arabian Sea. Fair enough.
I want to see sharks.
Okay, fair enough. I think now we have it in the
We do.
Northern Emirates.
We do.
Fair enough.
But not these types.
Okay. And then, all right, so let's, talk about how would you sort of describe yourself in as minimalistic way as you can? Give me like 2, 3
Passion.
words. That's it. One. Right.
See, very, 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 very minimalistic. I'm
Minimalistic.
passionate.
Very nice.
And I'm very caring. I'm not going to tell you because I have a good heart. No. I really care about two people that are the most important people in my life, my mom and dad.
Right.
Those are like the key to my happiness are those two people.
I think that's very good because you have that strong home team.
Alhamdulillah.
So yeah, alhamdulillah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Well, at that note, Yasmin, I would like to thank you so much
Thank you.
at my podcast. Appreciated.
It was a pleasure
Looking
to be
forward
here.
to more episodes with you. We need to touch a few more episodes with you.
Inshallah.
Thank you so
I'll
much.
be more than happy.
Appreciate it. What I take away from Yasmin's story is the power of passion. Aviation wasn't her first choice, but once it entered her world, it became her lifeblood, guided by family, grounded in values, and not afraid of challenges. She represents a new face of women in aviation, passionate, empowered, and ready to leave a legacy. Thank you so much, Yasmin, for joining me today. Appreciate it. Drop a comment, like, follow, and share if you like the content. Thank you so much.